Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Hello, my name's Brandon Locklear. I'm a senior meteorologist here at the National Weather Service in Raleigh. And the purpose of these morning briefings is basically to present everyone with what type of hazardous weather we can expect through the period starting today, August 29th through September 4th. And as everyone knows, tropics are active. Unless you're living under a rock. But if you look at this graphic here, we're looking at several disturbances. First, we'll start from the left and work our way to the right. If you look there just off the coast of central Texas over the northwestern Gulf of Mexico, there's a weak trough of low pressure that's producing some disorganized showers and storms. That's really of no concern. But then our next system, which is Tropical Depression number 9, which is there just south of and southwest of the Florida Keys, that could be a player perhaps later in the week, something to look at. And then off our coast, we're looking at Tropical Depression number 8. That's forecast to drift westward here over the next day. And for the most part, stay offshore with minimal impact inland. And then if we continue there, well out into the Atlantic is Hurricane Gaston. Gaston actually strengthened over the last 24 hours, but again, it is no threat to land. And then finally, across the far right side of the screen, you can see that X. That's actually a tropical wave that's forecast to move off the west coast of Africa, and that will be something we'll need to look at not this week, but the following week. So the tropics are really starting to cook up. Looking here, Tropical Depression number 8, top of the screen, you'll see that this is the official forecast. So basically, we're looking at Tropical Depression number 8 moving northwest here over the next 24 hours. And by tomorrow morning, it's forecast to, and tomorrow afternoon, forecast to be just east of Cape Hatteras, and then it starts to recurve and go back to the northwest. Generally, we have a high pressure that's in place over the eastern mid-Atlantic states, and that high pressure will actually deflect Tropical Depression number 8 and keep it to the east. Most of the impacts, as you can see in the bottom lower graphics on the left, looking at the probability for tropical storm force winds, so you can see that your higher probabilities and still are pretty low of 30 to 40% will mostly be felt along the outer banks. And as far as the rainfall in the bottom right, again, we expect most of the heavy rainfall to fall actually out over the waters and possibly getting close to the outer banks. Tropical Depression number 9, there actually have shown signs that Tropical Depression 9 is strengthening this morning, and it could strengthen into a tropical storm later tonight or possibly tomorrow. As you can see with the official forecasts up at top, the system's going to take its time, and it's going to slowly start to move northwest and then make a turn towards the northeast. We're really expecting to see some pretty significant rainfall along the Florida Keys, the west coast of Florida the next couple of days. And as you can see, as we get out into time, as we get later into the week, Thursday into Friday, the system should move onto the Florida Panhandle, cross and affect the southeastern states. As I'll show you in some graphics coming up, there is a front that's will be moving down to the south, as well as an upper level trough, and that system is expected to cause Tropical Depression number 9 to basically start to make that swing and that curve back towards the northeast. So at this time, we still expect very minimal impacts from that system. And looking at this week's weather pattern, as you can see, for the mid part of the next week, most of the rainfall associated with Tropical Depression number 8 will basically fall along the southeastern and Carolina coast. Then as we get late in the week, we're expecting that cold front to bring down some cooler and drier air probably around Thursday night and Friday. So we can expect a continuation of warm above normal temperatures through at least Thursday, with cooler weather coming in for Friday and for Labor Day weekend, which will still bring us only down to like seasonal temperatures. So we're basically talking about, instead of having daytime highs around 90, having daytime highs in the mid 80s, which will be very comfortable with overnight lows in the 60s. Looking at the severe thunderstorm potential, again, very little impact, not expecting any severe weather, with the best chance of showers and a possible few storms, mainly across the east. Looking at the rainfall for the next several days, notice there's a lot of white over North Carolina. If we do see some rain chances, it will likely be with the cold front as it moves through Thursday night and Friday, and it's possibly it could tap into whatever lingering tropical moisture is along the coast. So that's when you start seeing the increase in greens on Friday and Saturday. But if we look ahead even into the next week, going out 14 days, is showing a continuation of below normal precip chances for the area, as well as above normal temperatures, as it looks like we'll continue to have high pressure parked over the region. That's not very good, because as we go to the next slide, we're starting to see some drought conditions expand over the area. So if we look at this week coming up and the following week, we're talking about an additional 2 weeks where we're not expecting to see any significant rainfall. So for folks out there still watering their lawns and seeing their trees starting to become stressed, that should continue for the next 2 weeks. So that's not good news. In summary, the tropics are active. However, there's very little impact right now expected for central North Carolina. If they do see any enhanced winds or rain, it would be mostly offshore and near the Outer Banks. Temperatures will remain warm and above normal through Thursday, with a general cooling for Friday and into the weekend behind a frontal passage late Thursday. With little significant rainfall expected, we can expect drought conditions to expand. So starting to have some concerns as we head into the fall season. All right, we'll take this time to answer any questions.